When I was still young, I already noticed the preferential treatment given by my parents to my two older siblings. My brother would say I was adopted because my siblings would get new stuff while I would get their hand me downs. They always get what they want and get away with anything they did, while I get physically beaten from my brother's fault. He had a heart condition and asthma. They would go on family dates while they'd leave me with the helpers and stay in employees. It was during those times that I was abused by some employees. I tried running to my parents the first time, and I ended up being punished in front of all the employees instead. All those years growing up, I've never felt my parents protect me, or stand by me, or fight for me. It's like I was a burden to them, just another child who's taking up their time. Thus, I have to always strive for their approval, hoping that I'll be noticed this time. My biological mom passed away when I was 8, and dad eventually remarried. I grew close to my stepmom and looked forward to the day when I will be physically with my new mother. However, after just a few years, my dad left her permanently. She was brokenhearted and left with so much financial debt from my dad. It turns out that all the while, my dad had been having an affair. One day, he brought home the woman with whom he had been having an affair with to live with us. No introductions and no explanations given. We're not allowed to react. We just have to live with this stranger at home. I was also not allowed to communicate with my stepmom, who's in the US. Despite all these setbacks, I did well in school as this was my outlet. I became class president from elementary till high school. I was always on the honor roll, and on top of my studies, I would always spend at least 3 hours daily helping out our family business, even on weekends, waking up at 3 a.m. to study and do homework. There was a season when I had to go to market and cook for the family myself. But in spite of this, my dad would nag me for not helping out in our business and at home, berate me for not taking care of my older brother, and punish me for my supposed underperformance at school. My dad was totally disappointed because I was only second honor in my Chinese classes and third honor in my regular class for that grading period. My brother would only get warm encouragements and an occasional verbal reprimand for his failed subjects and make up summer classes, video games, disco, and partying. Every grading period, my dad would send us promissory notes because he didn't have the funds to pay for school. Yet every weekend, he'd go to the casino and various nightclubs. All these things eventually became too much for a high school kid to handle, so I decided to put an end to it all. I was in third year high school that time and a candidate for the next year's student council president. I had access to someone selling locally made firearms. I made an arrangement to pick up a handgun so I can shoot my dad that day during his afternoon nap and ensure that one bullet was left for me. I was not willing to go to prison. On my way to my last morning class, I bumped into our school pastor. I don't recall the exact conversation, but at one point the pastor quoted, "Come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest." Suddenly, I was intensely crying. The next thing I remember was this pastor sharing the gospel to me. I received Jesus as the Lord and Savior of my life that day. God made me realize that although my dad's offenses were great, I too had offended God so much that Jesus had to die on the cross in my place. At the same time, Jesus offered me peace, rest, and purpose. My dad's second wife, whom I call Mom, sought me out and adopted me even after my dad left her and we were bankrupt. As I was growing in my Christian walk, the Lord made me realize that though I received the Lord's forgiveness, I have not forgiven my dad and those who've hurt me. As a forgiven child of God, I too must forgive and let God take care of my past, my present, and my future. So in the new year of 2009, I sought out my dad who had moved to the province, and the Lord gave me the opportunity to meet him personally. I asked for his forgiveness and I gave mine. He did the same. We both cried for hours, letting go of all those years of hurt, pain, and bitterness. Amazingly, I learned that my dad also received Christ as Savior 2 months earlier when a local pastor in that province shared the gospel with him and his new family. I had the opportunity to honor both my parents during our rainy wedding day in 2011. I also witnessed my dad ask mom's forgiveness that day. On different occasions, the Lord opened the opportunity for me to ask my elder sister and elder brother's forgiveness as well. My dad's new family also accepted Christ. I am thankful that my wonderful siblings from my dad's family were with him until the very end when he died during the height of the pandemic. I couldn't be by his side during that time due to quarantine restrictions, but because of the grace and forgiveness we both have in Jesus, I am sure we will meet again in heaven one day. My name is Carangue, recipient of God's amazing grace, mercy, and forgiveness. God bless you.